Hi, welcome to episode 7 of Penmanship. In this episode, we're going to talk about Lamy Safari, specifically counterfeit Lamy Safaris. These three are counterfeit. How do I know? They were $10 each. No way would you be able to buy $10 Lamy Safaris of colors that were limited. They also came from China, so that's a red flag. China, Lamy Safari, $10. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Don't get suckered into buying it. I bought it because it was so cheap that I wanted to see how close do these counterfeit measure up to the real thing. This is my Lamy Safari. It's my first Lamy, and it is the pen that got me into fountain pen. If you're familiar, you know that this is actually a Goulet exclusive because of the black clip, black nib, and the black converter. It is not exactly the correct converter for this because it doesn't click to the side, but it works. So let's say you were on OfferUp or an eBay seller in America that's selling these limited colors. There's dark lilac, there's black, there's petrol. And they're selling it for like $70. Because anyone can actually just go ahead, buy these from China, and then sell it to you if you're not aware of counterfeit. You kind of need a Lamy Safari to tell if it's real or not. And yet you don't need a Lamy Safari to do it. The reason I'm swaying between having a real Lamy Safari for comparison versus not, if it's a really bad counterfeit, and this one is good, but it's also bad at the same time. Let me show you. The telltale sign is the ink window. The ink window has to line up with the nib. This is slightly off. It is just slightly off the nib. So based on that, you can tell, oh, the threading isn't correct. But it's close enough where with a little bit of pressure, you can get it lined up. Yeah, with a little bit twist, you can get it lined up. Not difficult. But it shouldn't ever need a little bit of pressure. My Lamy Safari, anyone's Lamy Safari, is well machined in the threading, and it lines up pretty effortless. And that goes with the Vista, because the Vista is just a Lamy Safari. Lines up with no effort. Now, this one is so obviously off. This black one wasn't. This black one actually was very close. It was like, here, a little bit more, and wasn't lined. But still, it required a bit of effort. Well, if you don't have a Lamy Safari, you wouldn't know that you don't need any effort. So that's why you kind of need a Safari, but you don't if the threading is really off. If the threading is really off, like this one, I've turned this so many times that I may have broken in the threading. You don't have to break in the threading, but I've been playing with this for a while. I clearly have broken it in somewhat, but that's the telltale sign. If someone on eBay in the U.S. is saying, hey, I'm selling my Lamy Safari collection, $150 or $200 with these three, you start to look at it and say, maybe this is real. When you get it, check the threading. Also, another reason why you need a Safari is you can feel the plastic It's the composition in your hand, the the texture in your hand. It's different. A real one, well, a real one and an imitation one feels slightly off. These three all feel the same. This genuine one is a bit off. So this recap: made in China, $10. Limited edition colors. Red flags, red flags, red flags. But again, if you do end up seeing a post from someone in the U.S. or any of these virtual pen shows, and you're like, hey, you want one, and you get it, you should test it to make sure that it's authentic. But let's say the person who sold it to you was like, they constantly twist it until the threading lines up without any effort. It just breaks it in. Then what else can you check? This is harder. It starts to get really hard, but you can check it. You look at the font. So far, the fonts are marginally, and yeah, I know you can't see it. It's tough. It's gonna be tough to focus. The font, it's gonna be marginally bigger. It's really similar, but it's it's not a major font difference, but the font size is slightly bigger on the imitation. Last, besides the font, let's say you can't tell. You can't tell if the font is real or not. What I did to really, really deep dive into what's real and what's not, I looked at the feed to see if the feed was the same or not. And the cutout of the feed is very similar, but it's not the same. Also, you can tell that the plastic is different. My real one, let me put it back, switch it back. My real one, the feed has a shine to it. This is more matte. This has more matte. This is more matte of a feed. So there's a shine to my real one, and then the one on the left, the imitation one, is a bit more matte. So imitation, still, again, it's hard to tell. These counterfeiters has done a good enough job to go confuse anyone, especially someone who isn't going to scrutinize the pen. Because when you buy it, it comes in this package, which got damaged, but it comes in this package, and it feels like the real thing. It's a texture box. It has this. It even has the stop ring. So the packaging is very close to what Lamy does. Again, the reason I bought it was I was curious to see if I can spot the counterfeit. Again, be careful out there. People are counterfeiting cheap Lamys for whatever reason. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was insightful, helpful for anyone out there curious if the Lamys as far as that they got or they're looking to purchase is real or not. Well, thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.